Hey everyone, it's Jason. Welcome to another Power Rangers Heroes of the Grid miniature card game unboxing. This is for Villain Pack number 4, A Dark Turn. These villain packs are really cool because they let them add additional villains from previous sets, or add just some newer villains, maybe scattered in from like teams that they haven't fully completed or completed a different way. So half of these people are well, 2 of the 5, I guess not half, are villains from In Space series, which you can get the big box set for that, so you can add some extra villains for there, just because it can only fit so many villains. So they add some more, so you can get a big box set, get some extra villains with Ecliptor and Astromina here. And then the other 3, Zeltrex, Mesagog, and Elsa, are all villains for Dino Thunder, which previously only the Black Dino Thunder Ranger had been released in the Tommy Oliver Legacy Pack. But now there's a new box of the same size, which has the other members of the regular Dino Thunders. So if you bought that just for the team, great. And then you just have your Rangers to play as. If you wanted to actually have their villains, you could get this and get their boss and monster and a nemesis. Alright, without further ado, let's jump into this. So, here we just have our introduction, like we just said. Mesagog and Andromeda are 2 of the most devious powers we've ever faced. Before they became masterminds, these villains were once close allies of the Power Rangers. This is kind of the other theme in there. Extremely vicious on Earth, accompanied by a merciless Lieutenant Ecliptor, while Mesagog, a dinosaur-human hybrid, commands his own deadly Majordomo Elsa, as well as Tommy Oliver's cyborg nemesis Zeltrex. This is also interesting because it's going to add the nemesis enemies who we've seen in space with the Psycho Rangers. As well, if you get the Heroes United set, you're also going to get some nemesis in there. This one's got a new one. Basically, nemesises are treated as monsters for all purposes, but they're purple instead of orange. Or red, red instead of purple or orange, just to set them off a bit. They're kind of in between a monster and a boss. Start a big battle, their deployment card comes out. You get access to the lead ranger, and stuff happens. So we'll look at that. Alright, so let's jump into the In Space, since if we've been watching videos, that one's already been out for a while. So here we have Ecliptor. Let's see if I can find him. It's kind of like a stony, cybery type feel to him. Really interesting. So let's look at what this guy can do to us. Got 3 copies of Eclipse Blade. Let's get that focused in a little bit better here. I apologize for the coughing. It's that time of year. So we have Eclipse Blade, 4 health fast. Deal 2 damage to each ranger. Increased 1 for each shield in the top of their discard pile. 2 copies of Eyes of Ecliptor. 4 health, fast, and guard. Half the rangers in this battle rounded up. Must each shuffle their deck and then discard half of their deck rounded up. Oh boy, that could suck. Plus it ruins if you had any plans made. 2 copies of Mirror Image. 4 health, guard, passive. While its cards in play deal 3 damage at the start of each enemy's turn in battle. And then finally, he has Regeneration. Flip all defeated Ecliptor cards in this battle face up. They are no longer defeated. That's ridiculous. Kill that card as soon as possible. Alright. Next up, we have Astromina, who's the boss. And this will be her. Her spear's not nearly as long as it was. It's not as sharp as it is in that picture, but that's okay. Some good detail though on like the arm gauntlets and stuff like that. But let's see what mean and horrible things she's going to do to us. 2 copies of Dark Matter Wave. 6 health, fast. Each ranger must reveal a random card from their hand. Deal 3 damage to each ranger, increased by 1 for each other defense revealed. So they do not. So I think it's kind of funny because lots of in-space guys ignore guard, and then their enemies right now are basically just hurting them for having shields. That's kind of cool. 1 copy of Psychokinesis. 5 health, fast, passive. List cards in play. Cards cannot leave rangers discard piles. When this card resolves, drain 2 energy, and each ranger must discard 1 random card from their hand. Oh boy. 2 copies of Shatterbolt. And you might notice this has different artwork on all these cards versus previous sets. Yeah, there's one other different artist. You might like this art, you might not. Good thing art's not a focus of the game. There's text on the cards and the figures. The figures still match. Like, they didn't make the figures really cartoony, just the arts. And, you know, personally, I'm fine with that. I've been a big comic book fan for years, so I'm used to stuff changing a lot. 5 health, fast. Dealing mud damage to each ranger equal to the number of rangers in battle. 2 copies of Wrath Staff. 4 health, guard. 1 ranger must discard the top 2 cards of their deck, then deal 4 damage to that ranger. And Astral Vortex, 1 copy. This card has actually been errated already. So it's 6 guard passive. Well, this card is in play each time Elsa. Yeah, it's right there. They roll Elsa on their deals damage. She targets the fewest cards in their deck. I think they have the wrong text on there. Let me grab an image of the actual version. One moment. Alright, so this is the actual text of the card. You can go, if you're on Facebook, they have a Facebook group. You can go, otherwise you can probably go right to the Renegade website. And they'll have a version you can print off. They have a solution eventually to probably get you a physical card. Renegade Studios, who makes the game, has been really good about getting people errated versions of cards. I know there's one of the other cards in, I don't remember which site it's in, but it has a reaction instead of a maneuver or vice versa. Other than that, the rest of the text is fine and you can kind of figure it out. But they do plan on sending out corrected versions. They've done it before. Usually they're with like special pre-order packs or bonus packs like that rather than like a full set. So it's only like hardcore fans are gonna care. Like if you're just buying it casually, you don't really care, whatever. So they'll eventually do something. But for now, you can go on, print this off, either just slide it in front of your card or whatever. But it says, well, this card is in play. Each time a ranger deals any amount of damage to an enemy card without guard, drain 1, and that ranger must discard the top of their deck. So basically that could focus on guard words, otherwise they're going to take a bunch of crap. Alright, so that's that. I just want to make sure we addressed that. Alright, then up next we have Dino Thunder villains. So we're going to start with our nemesis for this set. And they have the Psycho Rangers on the back. There's Veltrex. That's the other new thing they're doing with lots of these 5-box sets now. So instead of having 3 monsters and 2 bosses, it's usually 2 monsters, 2 bosses, and nemesis. Or like the big box sets, it seems like they're gonna do 1 boss, 1 nemesis, like 2 monsters, and like foot soldiers. Because this guy acts as a monster anyhow. But then you also get that little extra stab because these guys are a little bit meaner. So, Zeltrex's deployment cards and say, each time the attached ranger suffers damage, increase that damage by 1. So it's not like a super abusive ability, but it's gonna suck, because that means you're fighting a regular monster. That's mean enough. But now every time they take damage, you're gonna increase by 1. And usually it's always the lead ranger. So this one particularly hates the Black Dino Thunder, so we have 2 copies of Grim Vendetta. 5 health. The lead ranger may discard any number of their cards from their hand. Then deal 3 damage to that ranger for each card that left their hand. I'm confused by this card. The lead ranger may discard any number of cards, then deal 3 damage for each card that left their hand. Although, why would I discard any? Like, why would I purposefully take damage? I'm not really sure on the point of that card. I might be missing something. 4 health, Grip of Zeltrex. Fast card, drain 1, deal 3 damage. Deal 3 damage to each of half the rangers in this battle rounded up. And then he has 3 copies of the Thunder Gladius. Deal 2 damage to each ranger, deal 2 damage to the lead ranger. And then finally, Shield of Zeltrex, guard, passive, 6 health. List cards in play. Each time a ranger performs an attack, they must remove all but 2 dice from the attack after rolling. Oh boy, so that could suck for some of them big attacks. But at least this does at least 2 dice. Also interesting about him versus some of the other leads, because I know like the Cycle Rangers try and target the same color ranger, like the red one tries to target the red. And in the Rangers United, we had Dwayne, who after certain cards activated, he moved around, so he tried to attack everybody. And this one doesn't do that. So once that deployment card goes out to the lead ranger, it's going to stick on the lead ranger. So whoever you decide to be lead ranger is going to take a bunch of extra damage. Versus the other cards, they're kind of like they pinpoint or move around. So it's just a neat effect. Alright, so now we're going to have Elsa. She's one of the monsters. Yeah, this is Mesagog's like ally, like second in command. He's actually, I believe, still a human, or if I remember right, I haven't watched this series in a while. But let's see what we got. We have 3 copies of Apostle's Blade. Just 4 health, fast guard. Deal 4 damage, and the ranger, the fewest cards in their deck, must discard the top card of their deck. Oh boy. Cascading Blade. 5 health. Each ranger must discard cards from the top of their deck until they're tied with all of the rangers for having the fewest cards. Then deal 3 damage. She does not like you having cards in your deck. Rapid Cuts. Deal 1 damage, deal 2 damage, deal 3 damage, and it's fast with 3 health. And then finally she has Harsh Discipline. Because yeah, she's the... I think she's like the counselor or the principal at the school that the kids go to. So it's kind of how she can keep track of stuff. 6 health, guard, passive. List cards in play. Each time Elsa deals damage, she targets the ranger with the fewest cards in their deck. Yeah, she does not like people having cards in their deck. We did not look at Zeltrex. We forgot. That is a lot of detail. There's his mighty axe, his shield, the little bumps and nodes everywhere. He's got his eye on the top of his head. And then we have Elsa. A little bit more battle warrior. But she doesn't have the ponytail, which is kind of weird. So, like, most of these show her this big giant ponytail. And I don't have one on here. She has very short hair. So either this is a different model than they had in the, like they had them do something different, or I don't know. That's weird. I just noticed that. Alright, finally let's look at Mesogog. We'll look at his miniature on right there. He's a human dinosaur hybrid. He worked with Tommy Oliver on some stuff, and then he kind of became evil. That's what the whole dark turn's supposed to be. Plus his spoiler alert for Dino Thunders is his son is the White Ranger, or becomes a White Ranger. So we have Mesogog here, and they make it really cartoony, but that's alright. Let's see what terrible things he does to us. We have his big card. We have Merciless Plan, 6 health, fast, guard, and passive. Well, this card is in play, resolve +1 enemy card during each enemy turn in battle. Oh boy, that sucks, because you can't directly attack it because of guard. And it's fast, so it's going to be right at the front. So you're going to need to deal with some stuff to take him out. Alright, 2 copies of Mind Spike. Guard, I mean, you can take him out because he has guard, but you're going to need to do that quick, otherwise everything else is going to end up bad. Mind Spike, 6. The lead ranger must draw 3 cards, then discard all duplicate cards from their hand. If they discarded no cards, deal 4 damage to that ranger. We got 2 copies of Psionic Blast. Fast, 4 health, dealing amount of damage to each ranger equal to the number of cards in their hand. Ripclaw Rush, 6 health, fast, deal 4 damage. The ranger who suffers this damage must then discard a number of cards from the top of their deck equal to the number of cards they discarded for defense. Oh, that sucks. And then his final one is Oppressive Aura. Guard, passive. List cards in play. Rangers do not add extra dice or damage to their attacks. That is abusive as well. Alright. That is our villain box. The villain pack number 4, A Dark Turn. I really like that they keep making these so we get more villains. So let's see what they come up with next. Alright, see you guys in the next video. Bye.